Friends, this is the first of the 3 videos on Ways with Words. Videos that present 3 model question papers and their answers. Well, papers prepared with questions carefully selected from the previous university question papers. Remember, there are more than 7 various question papers in the last 4 years. Well, you will find the link to the PDF down in the description box below. Take a printout, watch the videos as many times as you can, and read the questions and the answers at your leisure. If possible, watch the video just before you go into the examination hall so that your memory is fresh. I am sure that you will be able to answer all the questions in the examination. So, let us start. Remember, there are 12 short answer questions, 7 paragraph questions, and 2 essay questions. Well, you may answer all the short answer questions and the paragraph questions, and you can write 1 essay. So, here we go. Short answer question number 1. How does Shakespeare use the lark, the bird lark, as a symbol in his sonnet? Well, the last 6 lines of the sonnet present a splendid image of a morning lark, that is a lark bird in the morning, that sings hymns, songs at heaven's gate. It embodies the poet's pleasant memory of his friendship, which compensates for the misfortunes he has suffered. Question number 2. Why did the servant flee to Samarra? The servant thought that he could escape death if he ran away from Baghdad to Samarra. Question number 3. What is colored funeral? You know, colored means dark, in contrast with the fair, the white skin and the dark skin. So in that sense, colored funeral means the funeral of a black man. Question number 4. Who is the close bosom friend of the maturing sun? The autumn season is called the bosom friend of the maturing sun. Question number 5. What are the exceptions of furniture that the speaker talks about? All furniture is gone except grandmother's grindstone and the brass figurines of her gods. Question number 6. Why are the old folks able to forgive life? When old folks laugh, they learn to accept death as just another milestone in life, as dear painless death, and they forgive life for the hardships it caused. Question number 7. What are the different faces that the speaker wears? The different faces that the speaker wears are home face, office face, street face, host face, and cocktail face. These faces are a series of masks which show no real emotion and hence not sincere. Question number 8. Why do bores always find an audience? Bores always find an audience due to the kindness of human nature. Few people have the courage to tell them that their company is boring. Question number 9. It would be a favor to me if you eat it up. This is in quotes. How would it be a favor to Mary? Mary politely requests the policeman to eat up the cooked leg of the lamb in the oven, as they might be feeling terribly hungry. They were helping to catch the murderer. It would be a big favor for her, as they would be destroying an evidence, that is, the weapon used to commit the crime. Question number 10. Why did Peti hate swimming at school? The togs, that is clothes, that Peti wore were not of her size. Mum made them by cutting up all the swimming togs, and they were of much larger size for Peti. Question number 11. What does the line, "the first now will later be last," imply? What does it mean? The line implies that the change that is about to come will be radical. There's going to be a complete change. And the fortunes of all men are going to be reversed. Well, this is the last short answer question. Question number 12. What bothers Jerome about his aunt? Jerome finds his aunt boring as she gives too many details that are not important while narrating his father's death to others. Well, friends, these are the 12 short answer questions that have been very, very carefully selected from the previous university question papers. Well, friends, now the paragraph questions. Question number 13. Why does the speaker in sonnet 29 say that he is out of favor with fortune and men's eye? Sonnet 29 was composed in around 1592. The poem presents the poet in a very, very miserable situation. He feels himself unlucky, ashamed, and jealous of those around him. There were two events that might have shaped the theme of the sonnet. First, in 1592, the London theatres were closed due to an outbreak of plague. The closing of the playhouses made it hard for Shakespeare and other actors to earn a living. Second, there was a severe attack on him, a severe criticism by a fellow dramatist, Robert Greene, who remarked that Shakespeare is an upstart crow, beautified with our feathers. These could be the reasons for Shakespeare to be out of favor with fortune and men's eye. Second paragraph question. Question number 14. How does the poet personify autumn in Keats's poem? In John Keats's poem, Ode to Autumn, the autumn season is personified as a close bosom friend of the maturing sun. It makes secret plans with the sun to make the approaching season rich and abundant. Then autumn comes like a pagan goddess, sitting careless on a granary floor, her hair softly lifted by the winnowing wind. After that, it is portrayed as sleeping on a half-reaped furrow, intoxicated by the smell of poppies. It also appears like a gleaner trying to balance her head loaded with grain. Finally, the autumn season can be seen sitting at a cider press, slowly watching, hours by hours, the last oozings of apple juice. Question number 15. Old Folks Laugh is a celebration of old age, Elucidate. Maya Angelou's poem, Old Folks Laugh, is a celebration of old age. The old folks are masters in the art of laughter. To them, laughter is an expression of freedom. It is liberation from the restrictions of decorum imposed by the society. They are free from all bondages of social codes. Their laughter rises within their bellies like the jiggle of tambourines. It rises up and spills over like an overflowing liquid. When they laugh, they free the world. They free themselves as well as others. When the old folks laugh, their laughter becomes a liberator, a freedom from the eventuality of death. Question number 16. Explain the significance of the title lamb to the slaughter. Lamb to the slaughter means someone who goes innocently into a dangerous situation. Here, it is Patrick Maloney who becomes the lamb to the slaughter. He would never have expected that his wife would kill him. The irony is increased, the irony is enhanced by the fact that the leg of the lamb is literally used to slaughter, to kill Patrick. The title can also be interpreted from Mary's point of view. She too is figuratively slaughtered by Patrick Maloney, who announces his decision to leave her at a time when she needed his presence most. Question number 17. Discuss the element of black humor in a shocking accident. Black humor is a form of humor that regards human suffering as absurd rather than pitiable. It considers human existence as ironic, pointless, and comic. Graham Greene makes the readers laugh at the funny situations in life. The story centers upon the death of Jerome's father, who gets killed when a heavy pig falls on him. The incident evokes laughter in all who hear about it. But for a sensitive child like Jerome, who idolizes his father, an incident like this is not something very funny. As he grows up, he finds that people can't stop laughing when he tells them about his father's death. The writer is trying to bring out the absurdity of human life and existence. Question number 18. What are the different types of bores? Lucas classifies bores into different types. The most repellent, the most hateful specimen of bore is the one called the buttonholing bore, who is the man who spreads bird lime all over you. They lean on you and go on narrating funny stories that are not funny at all. You will have to pretend to be laughing, fake laughter after hearing them. Then there are the repeating bores who go on narrating non-stop, even if you tell them that you have already heard a particular story. There are also other types of bores who go on boasting and pretending that they have a great sense of humor, but their sense of humor only makes others tired. Well, friends, this is the last paragraph question. Discuss how the story Appointment in Samarra expounds fatalism. The story Appointment in Samarra, as retold by Somerset Maugham, is like a parable. You know, a parable, which is a story that gives a moral lesson. A story with a moral lesson is a parable. The underlying message of the story is that one cannot escape one's destiny. The servant in the story was jostled by death at a marketplace. He decided to flee to Samarra, where he thought he would avoid death. But at the end of the story, we can see that death had already fixed an appointment with him at Samarra that night. It was a clear indication that the servant was actually moving closer to his fate, that is, death. Well, friends, these are the 7 carefully selected paragraph questions. Now, let's move on to the essay questions. The first essay question, question number 20. Bob Dylan's poem, The Times They Are A-Changin', is a poem of protest. Comment. Well, the answer has been prepared in 4 short paragraphs. Paragraph number 1. Bob Dylan's The times they are a-changing is a powerful song of protest composed to inspire the frustrated youth of the 1960s. The song sums up the anti-establishment feelings of the people of the age. Many of the lyrics are based on the civil rights movement in the US. This is the first paragraph. Now, paragraph number 2. The opening line, "Come gather round people," evokes old folk ballads using biblical references such as the great flood and the sermon, the speech on the mount. The poet warns people like writers, critics, politicians, mothers and fathers that change is coming. He tells mothers and fathers to either lend a hand, either help or get out of the way. You better start swimming lest the floodwaters should rise. This is paragraph number 2. Now, paragraph number 3. The song speaks philosophically and in general terms. The song refers directly to the civil rights struggle. It also looks beyond at the more general currents of change already stirring in the country. The generational conflict between the old and the new generations is clearly targeted. It makes the song increasingly meaningful as the 1960s went on. Paragraph number 4, the last paragraph. The song rallied the American youth and inspired the civil rights movement, women's liberation, and various other organizations. The message was easily adaptable to multiple movements. The call for change was universal to demonstrators from all walks of life. Dylan himself calls it a song with a purpose. Well, this is the essay. Friends, now we come to the last question of this model question paper, which is the last essay question. Question number 21. Discuss the emergence of science as a primary means of penetrating the secrets of the universe and as a self-correcting character. Well, as in the previous essay, this essay also has been prepared in 4 short paragraphs. Paragraph number 1. In the essay, Nightwalkers, Carl Sagan observes that the history of science is the best antidote, the best remedy for pseudoscience, that is false science. In the past 100 years, science has emerged as the primary means of penetrating the secrets of the universe. This is the first paragraph. Now, paragraph number 2. Within the last century, many claims have been made at the edge of science. They are out of the ordinary and often imply something hopeful. Science does sometimes make claims such as DNA, continental drift, or the origin of life, on which science has proof. The success of science depends upon its self-correcting character. It is possible for science to reproduce any valid experiment. The character of the scientist is not relevant, not important. It is irrelevant. What matters is whether the evidence supports his contention. Paragraph number 3. Many of the belief systems at the edge of science are not subject to experimentation. They are anecdotal, that is based on incidents, depending entirely on the validity of eyewitnesses. Critical examination is the method used in everyday science. Scientists are, of course, human. Well, they are man like us. When their passions are excited, they may temporarily abandon the ideals of the discipline. That is temporary. But these ideals, the scientific methods, have proved enormously effective. Finding out the way the world works requires a mix of intuition and brilliant creativity. It also requires skeptical scrutiny. It is the tension between creativity and skepticism that has produced the stunning findings of science. Well, friends, now let's come to the last paragraph. Sagan declares that the best antidote, the best remedy for pseudoscience is science, which is intricate, very complex and subtle. It reveals a richer universe and powerfully evokes the sense of wonder. Well, friends, this is the first question paper and its answers. Remember, the questions have been very, very carefully selected from all the previous university question papers. You watch the video as many times as possible and you read the notes whose PDF link is given down below in the description box. You may read the questions as well as the answers at your leisure. I'm sure that you will find it very, very useful. So friends, see you now in the second video with the second model question paper, which is another beautiful selection from the previous university question papers. So thank you very much and best wishes.